Okay, so we got the big piece of news this morning is that we got retaliatory tariffs from China of 84%. Now, market here is ticking up. The breadth across the board here is green. I think this is kind of throwing some people off sides. What do you make of this move here this morning? And perhaps more importantly, what do you think is next?
The thing is, and you know how I've been quite cautious on the market, and I'm still cautious. I'm still worried that we will see lower lows as we move through the spring months, and or even maybe even through October. It won't. But the thing is that we've also talked about it won't happen in a straight line, and this is kind of your classic. As you mentioned, we got the news today. We've had obviously news in the last week or so, but that we got confirmation today that we are in a trade war. What's China going to do? Are they going to ease up? No, they're retaliating. We are in a trade war. And so we have this sell the rumor of this trade war. Mm-hmm. Are we getting to buy the news? The one thing that everybody's worried about is that we're going to see the same thing we saw yesterday when the market rallied in the first hour and then rolled over and got clobbered. That could still happen. But the thing is, when you get this kind of news after a market has become very oversold only on a short-term basis, not wild, even on an intermediate-term basis, oversold, but not wildly. Sentiment is very, very low. You see that the futures traders' sentiment is down to about 10% bullishness. You see the fear and greed index dropped to 3% last night. So you have such bearish sentiment, an oversold market. And we saw examples of how the market got washed out late last week. Huge jump in volume. Huge. We have a 35-1 negative breadth. That's in other words, decliners versus advancers. 35-1 decliners versus advancing stocks on Friday. So the internals were just the sign of a near-term washout. I don't think it's total capitulation. I think we got problems. I think the problems are much more than just a trade issue. So you have to be careful. But that's what short traders need to do. And we've said this a million times. During the best bull markets in the world, NVIDIA, 2 years, one of the best rallies in the history of the stock market, and yet it saw 5 declines of 20%. And the same thing happened in the other direction. If the market's selling off, the bear market of 2000 to 2003, the bear market of 2009 to 2007, 2009, all had 4 bounces in 20% on all 4 bounces in the great financial crisis. 50%, anywhere from 20 to 50% in the other one. So there can be bounces along the way, and this is kind of that setup.